Welcome to Barrier Blitz, a two-day event where 10 of the top Sword and Shield speedrunners will be attempting to break the world records for Sword and Shield Tower of Two Fists, both Get Urshifu and Don't Get Urshifu. My name is Trivaria, and I'll be commentating on and off during this weekend, and I'm joined here by Yaxo.
Hi.
And yeah, these are going to be two very interesting days for these two speedruns. We have 2 days set up, both about 12 hours plus a final attempt between the runners, 10 runners of these categories competing to get the best time within this event time frame. And we're starting off today with 2 of them, I think, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah.
Both Peugeot and Spider will be running from the very beginning. All of the runners are free to start whenever they want to, just as long as they keep to that 12-hour time frame for both the days. So runners will be starting all throughout the morning here, with I think the last runner starting at around 12, depending. And speaking of those runners, like I said, we have 10 of them. We have 10 amazing Sword and Shield runners all vying for that fastest time in this Barrier Blitz event. We have Dynam, Etiquette, Greta Ice Vixen, Headbob, Iron, New Amber, Peugeot, Spider Seed, Truly, and Zypotic. So that's a very stacked roster, including the world record holders for both categories. So what do you think, Yaxo, how these runners gonna fare during these 2 days?
I don't really know. We will see. But that will be fun.
Oh, that's for sure. I think we're going to see some amazing attempts.
Yeah.
I'm also interested to see who will prioritize which category, because to speak a little bit more about the format, the winner of the event will be the leader of our combined leaderboard. There should be a command in chat as well to look at that, ! Rankings. So you basically have to get a good time in both categories, but I'm pretty sure most runners have a preference. So I'm interested to see who goes for which category harder. The difference, of course, between the two categories is whether or whether not to get Urshifu in the DLC area of Tower of Two Fists, which accounts for like 10 minutes,
10 minutes
in terms of time difference. As this event is called Barrier Blitz, we're trying to blitz through a barrier here. The world record for Get Urshifu is, at least for English, 1 hour, 20 minutes, and what was it? I just set it up on the leaderboard. There it is. Yes, 5 seconds. So close to breaking that 1 hour and 20 barrier and getting below that. This is the world record by Headbob. And then the Don't Get Urshifu world record by Zypotic, in the English language at least, is 1:10:45. So just about 10 minutes faster, with that 1:10 barrier looming and just waiting to get broken by one of our runners this weekend. Of course, Zypotic does have a faster time than this in Japanese with a 1:10:02, but as far as I understand, all of our runners will be running in English for this event. Right. One thing we should probably also mention is that there is a prize pool for our participants.
Oh, yeah.
So
Forgot about this.
it's a shared prize pool over on Matcherino. Our first ranked runner will win currently $160 $68. If you want to participate, if you want to contribute to that prize pool, you can head over to the Majorino page. I do think. Do we have a command for that? I'm unsure.
I have the link there.
That's good, thank you. And there is a special prize. Thank you, Fury. There is a special prize for getting the individual fastest time in either category. So that might just be what some of the runners will be gunning for here if they don't think that they have a competitive time in the other category. Let's say someone is very confident in their ability to get Urshifu, but is a little shaky on the don't get run, then they could still aim for that best individual Get Urshifu time. And looks like we're now joined by Gavin NBD, who will be hopping on the commentary for this first set coming up with Spider and Perjo just about to start their attempts here in a few minutes, right around 8 a.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, hey there. Thanks for warming everybody up, doing the intro, and introducing everybody to what's going on. I'm excited to be here and jump into seeing some runs.
Well, I'm happy to hear that because there's a lot of Pokemon action here coming up. Again, we're live for the next, I don't know how many hours today and also tomorrow. It's a packed schedule. All right. Looks like we're about to get started here. Spider's just waiting on the go-ahead, apparently.
Yeah, its layout is so good.
Yeah, take a moment to appreciate the layout. Yeah. There's so many potential feats that we will see throughout this event. These will fill out across the morning. Like I said, just Spider and Perjo starting us off here, and then we'll be joined around 9:30. Yeah, 9:30 by Truly. And then everyone else will drop in one after the other, 10, 11, sometime like that. Looks like Spider's off here with his first attempt. Never mind, just booting off the game.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck to all of our runners.
And Pierrot is starting too.
We're about to see this cutscene so many times throughout the next 2 weeks, because you can't skip it. You have to do it every run.
Yeah, that's like 3 minutes. That's nice. Close to 3 minutes.
At least it's all the screen time that Rose is gonna get.
Yeah, just have to mash A and B. Is Turbo allowed? I think so.
Yes, typically we're all okay with Turbo. On the leaderboards, we do just indicate who is using it and who is not using it.
And I believe that is a somewhat recent change for the Sword and Shield leaderboard.
Yeah, relatively recent. Before it was all at least for the English runners, no turbo allowed whatsoever. But over the past year, maybe year and a half, we've kind of community has been more accepting of turbo, and a lot of the Switch games have started to implement its usage either as an option or as a variable. Yeah, so definitely something I appreciate as a turbo runner.
Oh yeah, I am also a huge proponent of turbo use in speedrunning. It's so much easier. My hands thank me every time.
Especially if you're doing like the any percent category for this game, which is 4 hours long, and there's lots and
Yeah.
lots of cutscenes.
There's so much meshing in there. But yeah, I just scrolled back. There was a vote, I believe in October, to change the leaderboards for Sword and Shield so that Turbo and no Turbo are now joined on the same leaderboard and are on separate boards. So it is quite a recent change to have it all on the same board. And just to illuminate that a little bit more, out of the top 3 runners for Don't Get Urshifu, 2 of them used Turbo. And that's the same for Get Urshifu as well. So quite the popular choice now that it's no longer quite as disincentivized.
Thais, can you tell me if my mic is better now?
Yeah,
good
you're
to
sounding good.
Okay.
All right, so it looks like Spider's gone through their options menu and is heading outside, getting ready to officially kick things off.
Well, kick things off in Sword and Shield just means more cutscenes, I do believe.
True, yes. To begin the tutorial. Yes, between resetting for good starters, for good sobbles, and luck with Route 1 spawns, or getting crit by hop, or getting critting hop and getting extra text. We'll be seeing a lot of this route and this starting area as people undoubtedly do some early resets and spend most of their time in Postwick and Wedgehurst.
And especially in this early part of the run, actually just in the early part of the run, it truly is like hops hiding behind every corner, always waiting for you to step into his next cutscene. Just like that, he's just walking a couple steps down the road. There he is again. But actually he doesn't start a cutscene this time.
That's a good question in the chat about how strict are the supple requirements. So usually we're looking for about 13 special attack at level 5. And it's a little flexible depending on your own personal requirements and how risky you want to play. But generally it's... Actually, we have a nice... Ranger has a nice calculator to determine the exact probability odds. But it's... I don't know. Mild to moderately strict.
Every minus special attack.
Basically, just don't want to have bad special.
Like 10 is very, very bad. I think 12 is winnable. Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't seem like the worst restriction, stat-wise.
No, that's fine.
There are definitely other runs with worse restrictions on starter stats or on main stats.
Yeah, for example, if you're doing 80% runs with Sobble, you might be looking at, checking your special attack and your speed and making sure you don't have minimum defense just in case. And even still with the two categories that we're doing, the don't get and the get, people might have slightly different restrictions in terms of, if they're doing don't get Urshifu, they might want a slightly better Sobble because they'll be using it longer. Versus if they're committed to doing Get Urshifu, they might be a little bit more lax.
Yeah, and Aaron is actually bringing up a good point in chat here. Says that Shield version also cares about special defense and speed on Sobble, which only 2 of our 10 runners here are running Shield for this event, just Dynam and Iron, who have to keep that in mind. I actually don't specifically know why you care about that. I believe it's because of the rival fights.
Yes.
Because I think that's the only major difference between the versions. Yeah, Iron's saying Avery too. So Avery and what's the other Clara? Avery and Clara are the 2 version exclusive rivals for the Tower of Tiphys DLC. And they, of course, have different Pokemon, so running Shield means you're going to have to face Avery, and that comes with some further stat restrictions.
Yeah. I believe in Sword, Clara has a Coughing and a Venipede, whereas in Shield, Avery has a Kadabra and Woobat. And the Kadabra hits pretty hard and is very fast. So you have to be, a lot of times, be able to survive a hit and have it hit you into Torrent sometimes. Unless you have Sucker Punch already. So it's definitely a risky part of the run, especially because moves like Confusion and Psybeam can confuse you and just add another extra layer of risk into that fight.
Peugeot has a really bad attack. Yeah, minimum attack. So just close the turn on this Wooloo.
Meanwhile, it looks like Spider has very good special attack.
17 at level 7. Okay. With it.
Makes sense. It's still very early in the day.
Yeah.
We can take a 10-minute reset, start again, get a better Sobble. And I feel like that's kind of an advantage of starting early. I mean, obviously everyone has the same amount of time at their disposal for this event, but starting early, you're not in direct competition with a lot of runners right now, and you still have probably enough time to get a full run in before really anyone else is starting. So Spider and Peugeot have the chance here to get the first times on the board and kind of set the tone for the entire event here. Oh, looks like Peugeot's also running Shield, yeah. Good eye,
Critical part of Spider. Yeah. Critical part of Spider's run right here. This Rookidee. Make or break the run. Oh, Unnerve. It's gonna be some time loss, but he's gonna push through. Just to explain that Rookidee has a 50-50 chance of having Unnerve or not having Unnerve. If it has Unnerve, it has an extra text box that pops up. But if it does not have Unnerve, then you skip that and you save, probably a second and a half.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue that I know well from Scarlet and Violet speedrunning, because there's a couple of Pokemon during the run that have random abilities and then sometimes just drop an Intimidate on you and lose you a couple seconds.
So once Spider is done fighting this mysterious Pokemon, the question mark, you'll be getting into the tutorial will lighten up a little bit in terms of we'll actually get to start catching Pokemon and fighting things that we're not just instantly running away from.
I do just want to shout out, while we still have 8 runners waiting to join, I want to draw attention to this incredibly cute break time icon.
Yeah. That's so cool.
I love that. Hope we're going to see that on the bigger screen for a bit later. Although, of course, it makes sense to then highlight a different runner, but it's just so cute. But yeah, also something probably worth talking about here is, as you can tell by the runner layout, 9 out of 10 runners here are from North America. So within the North American time zones, but Perjo is from Japan. So, they're going to have to deal with the time zone difference. And because of that, they actually only will be competing today. So they're basically taking their entire 24 hours in one big segment instead of doing 12 hours each. Which, comes with the disadvantage that you do kind of have to sleep in the middle there, but makes it a little easier to deal with when you're in a Japanese time zone.
So yeah, Spider just catch Wooloo for XP. But I think level 3 is really bad. Don't have enough XP, so yeah, you can catch another Pokemon. So 5.
That's better. Obviously would have preferred the level 5 on Wooloo, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah, for the runners will be catching Pokemon because we want to get to level 12 before the inevitable Galarian Slowpoke encounter. So the runners will be catching some. We won't get there just based off battle EXP. So we have to catch some Pokemon or defeat them wild Pokemon, as well as use a rare candy to reach that level 12 threshold. And originally, in earlier iterations of this run, we would just catch the minimum route 1 catch, not focus on catching 2 things, and make up the EXP later. But now with more updated strats, it can be advantageous to catch 2 things on Route 1, not only so you're making progress towards hitting level 12 later, but also if you can hit that level 8 threshold before the first trainer fight, it can save you a turn here or there, especially because level 8 is one of those level thresholds that increases your damage output.
So I believe catching a Pokemon skip the catching tutorial, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you catch something on Route 1, when Leon runs into you on Route 2, he will say, "Oh, you already caught something, you know what you're doing. No catch tutorial needed."
Yeah.
Oh, I see. We switched the highlighted runner here.
Nice. Wrap.
Yeah, zooming in on Peugeot so we can get a look at these Sable stats during the next fight. Spider going for the early deposit. I remember some conversation about that yesterday, whether it was beneficial to deposit early or later, because you're gonna have to deposit eventually. But the advantage of doing it now can be cutting out some time for level ups and trying to learn moves. But there's kind of need to do some more timing to figure out whether the menuing time is worth it or not.
Peugeot just got a crit on Wooloo, so it's really bad. Because I hope to say, "Oh, creepy." That's like 7 saves almost. Maybe. Yeah, just reset again because bad special in bad fight.
While we're on Pedro, I realized that I may have worded it poorly earlier when I talked about the amount of time that Pedro will be running. Of course, they'll probably not run for 24 hours straight, but according to the doc that I have here, they'll be allowed to start attempts for 24 hours after the first. So Iron probably won't have to pull an all-nighter, but at least Perja will have the chance to get the same amount of time out of this event as everyone else, at least in theory. They can choose to pull an all-nighter, after all.
Right now, Spider is on one of the relatively more interesting fights of Route 1 of the tutorial, given that every other fight you're just spamming Water Gun, whereas here you might opt to use Pound on the Nickit, but it kind of depends on whether your attack is high enough, but that crit is actually very nice. And getting hit into torrents.
Yeah, that kills. Nice.
Yeah, getting a 2-shot on the Nickit's very nice. So from here, we'll be getting ready for Spider. Will be getting ready for the next hop fight, which, as I alluded to before, will just be spamming water gun. But there can be some variance in terms of whether you crit hop, which, as was just mentioned before, can add some extra text time, and whether those crits are beneficial or unnecessary, and always the opportunity, well, not always, but with this high special attack, there are some slim chances of getting a one-shot on, say, the Scorbunny or the Rookity.
Purchasing in chat that they'll play for about 15 hours if their brain can keep it up. So not quite as ambitious as 24 hours straight of Sword and Shield speedrunning. I believe this is the last fight that happens before the Slowpoke.
Yes.
So ideally you do want to see the Silver hit level 11 here.
Nice. Tackle is faster than Ember. Because there is an animation that says... I don't remember, but something like I can use Ember or something.
Yeah, something about the burning flames
Yeah.
or fiery passion.
And Ember can burn, which is really slow. And it got the Rookity range. Nice.
So yeah, Spider does not hit level 11 here on Subble, so we'll have to catch Choodle on the way back up. Which is just another catch. Certainly not ideal, but I think with the level 3 Wooloo, basically unavoidable.
Yeah, depending on what Route 1 catches you got, that will kind of dictate what remaining experience you need at this point to reach level 11. There's kind of the default or safety option is there's a Choodle that's static and in the middle of the road, like not in a grass patch, and it's always going to be a level 8 Choodle, so it's a reliable source of pretty good EXP. But if you were able to, get a level 6 Wooloo or something like that, where you did have more XP going in, and you could skip this Choodle and you might only need something like to KO a Squovit, something that could be a little bit faster than catching the Choodle, watching the Pokedex entry animation stuff, but certainly not a terrible option, especially if you can get it in on the first ball.
Alright, while this cutscene is still going on, I'm going to step away from commentary. I'll be back later to rejoin Gavin.
Yeah, well, thanks for helping us this morning, and yeah, we'll be excited to see you when you rejoin us later today.
See you.
Alright, see you later. Goodbye.
So let's see what Spider opts for. Yep, going for the Choodle.
Is it guaranteed to catch here? No.
Nope. Let's see. Do a quick catch calc.
Okay.
Inside.
Assuming that's good.
Yes. We've reached level 11. There's a rare candy to 12. Teach Water Pulse. And now we will be level 12 for the Slowpoke catch, which is important because it is also level 12. Ooh, hitting the Zigzag again. And in this game, trying to catch a Pokemon that is higher level than your Pokemon is very difficult, and there's a big penalty on your catch probability if you try to do that. Some people try to go for that anyway, which we can talk about later if that comes up. But with a equal level Pokemon, it's much easier to catch the Slowpoke. Okay, taking a look at Peugeot's stream right now to see if he can get a better Sobble. To 13 again.
Yeah, that's bad. Woozy face.
So we'll jump back to Spider in the meantime as they head off into the wild area and then quickly turn around and exit the wild area. And I was looking back at that Shootle catch. It looks like it's about an 80% catch at full HP. So, you know, favored, but definitely getting a breakout isn't that unusual. Story-wise, what's going on here is basically Hop is rushing ahead to get into the adventure and the main storyline, while Sonia hands you your Pokemon Box Link, which now allows you to access your PC remotely instead of having to use a Poke Center. Which we'll be using shortly, and you have to go through this cutscene in order to go to the DLC area. Otherwise, if you try to go to it, the trigger is just not there. Similar to the Rookity Unnerve skip, another point is seeing how you interact with this Slowpoke. Okay. Spider got a pretty good interaction. So basically, if you talk to the Slowpoke not from the front, it will slowly rotate to wherever you are. So it can certainly waste a second or two if you try to approach it from like a diagonal or 90-degree angle. And first ball, nice.
Nice.
So a little bit of history before the most recent route for this. We would actually KO the Onyx that is right outside in the wild area, kind of near that cutscene that we had with Sonya where we got the box PC. We would set the weather to rain, try to KO the Onyx, and then use that as our kind of level up to be able to catch the Slowpoke. Additionally, we would, go to Motostoke and get X items and such like that. But now, since people discovered that, there are EXP candies in the Crown Tundra, which can make things a lot easier, all of our runners will actually be going to the Crown Tundra before going to the Isle of Armor to collect some candies, and then be heading back to the Isle of Armor and actually progressing with the storyline. And we're about to start the next battle, which is Peony.
Yeah.
But Spider should have no trouble with this. He's got the level 12 Sobble with Water Pulse, should be able to sweep pretty easily. Cabaraja, a little intimidating. Okay, level 70, no problem. Spider will just keep on going, and yeah. The point is that it doesn't matter if you win that fight or not. It's expected that you will lose because you're not going to beat his level 70 Pokemon. The only real variance in that fight is if Peony uses a move that can miss, and in which case causes a little bit of time loss. But Spider will now begin collecting their candies. They picked up the always guaranteed EXP candy medium. They picked up the full restore. And now this random candy, which is also an M, which is what you like to see. And now they will be heading back to the station and progressing with their Don't Get run. So things looking pretty good for Spider. Has a Ear Max special attack Drizzile with 2 EXP candy mediums, and making good time. And they're about to go into the Clara 1 fight where Pure is picking out their Sobble, and in a minute or two we'll have another chance to check stats and hopefully find one with better special attack. Story-wise, what's going on is Clara is supposed to be picking up a new recruit for the dojo, but this NPC was intimidated by her. So they ran away, and they mistake you for the new recruit. And she is going to welcome you by challenging you to a fight immediately. Again, in the old route, we would actually have to... We'd be much lower level for this fight, so we'd have to actually have some variance and not just be one-shotting things. Let's see... Time for a stat check.
Alright, good one. No!
12 to 13 again.
Let them run.
Yeah. This can be a frustrating part of the category, trying to get a good Sobble.
15 hours of resetting sub.
Okay, now it's back to Spider Screen. Clara is bribing you and hoping that you will stay away from the dojo, but we are going to immediately go there and begin the Isle of Armor storyline.
I'm actually discovering the run. I don't know the run at all.
Yeah, so what is your experience with Sword and Shield like?
I run just any percent with DLC, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I run this for like 1 week. And...
Yeah. Yeah, so this is... You know, we're going to understandably a different DLC area.
Oh.
But yeah, it's... I mean, we're already like halfway through the run. So a lot of it is just going through the tutorial section and making it to the Isle of Armor. And we only have about... Let's see... 4 fights before before we actually enter the tower, one of the towers of Two Fists. A lot of it is just kind of walking around and collecting things and trying to death warp efficiently. So this is the leader of the dojo, Mustard, and his wife, Honey. And it will be... Our next fight will be against Mustard, who, again, used to be a much scarier fight back before we were doing EXP candies, because he can paralyze you. But we should be able to just one-shot both of his Pokemon. All right, so Spider getting through that fight just fine. Ooh, and they're saying 36 seconds ahead of PB. All right, so the main plots of this part of the storyline is that Mustard will have 3 trials for us. The first of which is catching up with these speedy Slowpoke, these unnaturally fast Slowpoke, who have stolen one of the dojo uniforms, and we have to collect. And while there are a dozen members of the dojo that could be doing this, apparently only we are capable of doing so. One thing to note is that all of our runners will set the date before they start their run, and setting that is important for this upcoming section, in that we're going to be facing these Slowpoke and using water moves to fight them. So ideally we will have rain during this section to boost the power of our water moves. So everybody will be choosing a date that will have rain present here. We would do it for the first fight, that first Avery fight, or Avery / Clara. But the weather there is a little, like, weirdly controlled, where you can't have rain there yet, but you can have sun. It has some weird restrictions. So here we go, Spider running into the first Slowpoke. And you cannot catch these Slowpoke, you have to defeat them. And this Slowpoke will always outspeed you because they are set to +6 speed. And in addition to having a berry on them that boosts speed, if for some reason you were to lower their speed. And now picking up the Muddy Water TR, which will be important for many other fights going forward. We will be praying that we hit the move every single time, but that is definitely not guaranteed.
Yeah, Medivator is 85% accuracy.
And something else to know about these Slowpoke fights is that they all have disable, all of the Slowpokes. So if you don't KO them in one move, or you miss Muddy Water, there is always a chance that it will outspeed you on the next turn and use disable. So we typically will alternate our moves, using Muddy Water. If you miss, then switch to Water Pulse, etc. Or, and vice versa.
Okay.
All right, Peugeot.
12 into 14.
Oh,
That's
14, okay.
okay. Yeah,
Improvement.
that's nice.
Meanwhile, Spider trying to Death Warp. Ideally, you find an Aracuda here, which can is high level and can KO you pretty quickly. Because Death Warping in this area can be a little bit difficult otherwise.
And Edaket will join us.
As I mentioned, and they're dating time. Alright, so while Purjo sees if they can get the Unnerved skip, they don't, unfortunate. Spider is picking out a Kanto starter. As one of the rewards is that you get to pick either a Bulbasaur or a Squirtle for free. Don't impact the run in any way, but you know, a nice little prize if you want to save your game afterwards and take it home with you. And the next trial for Spider is going to be collecting max mushrooms. So Buster will kind of walk you part of the way, you have to walk the rest. And we're going to be going to a specific spot on the other side of the Isle of Armor to pick these mushrooms. And I'm sure we will pick them with no problem, and no one will interrupt us or try to take them from us. This force of focus can be a little bit tricky in terms of wild encounters. Things have a tendency to pop up very suddenly. If you're familiar with Let's Go or Scarlet and Violet, can be kind of similar. And it can be difficult to see them since there are some small things like Venipedes that can hide in the grass. But Spider makes it through without taking an encounter. There is an optional Moo Moo Milk item on the right here where Spider is, but they're opting to skip past it. More of a safety play if you want an extra healing item. And now we will be getting into the Clara 2 fight. Spider indicating that they've got a 9 and 16 and a 6 and 16 ranges. I would assume on, not on the Slowpoke, but on the other two Pokemon. Oh, and that is where you can see Muddy Water can miss. Oh, and a double miss. Got the one. Despite still using Confusion a few times, was able to avoid getting confused themselves. It's the important Muddy Water on the Coughing.
Want to wipe here. To be back to dojo, yeah. Much faster than going back, sorry. By walking.
Yeah, there's definitely, using the Rhyperior, something very high level is a much easier option. Some other times you might opt to use a low-level Pokemon and risk it, but it's easier to just play it safe and run into something can KO you right away. Alright, and Etiquette getting into finally picking out their Sobble, so in a minute or two they will be getting a stat view. And meanwhile, Spider is going to be meeting with Mustard to initiate the third final ultimate trial. Basically, the third trial is just fighting Clara once again. But she has a trick up her sleeve, which we will see in a few minutes.
So we'll see Edaket Sobel soon.
Mm-hmm.
$14, then $15. Nice.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Yes, Etiquette will be definitely running that. And as Clara's about to explain at the start of this fight, she has gotten here early and set up toxic spikes on the field so that you will instantly be poisoned at the start of the fight. An old strat we would use would be to lead with the Bulbasaur that you got for free from Honey, and that way it would absorb the toxic spikes. But since then, runners have adjusted to just setting up, using the full restore, and then going. Especially since this Skorupi had a good chance of poisoning you anyway. Getting poisoned to start the fight is not that big of a deal. Spider says, quote, going for it. So I'm wondering if that means, yep, they're going to skip Dynamaxing on this fight, which is a bold move, but it can certainly save you a lot of time if you're able to get away with it. I believe this is something you can only do on Sword version, because unless you're in Torrent maybe on Shield, but even still it can be very difficult, especially since the Swoobat is unaware and ignores all your stat changes.
What is faster between Sword and Shield?
I know they're about pretty even.
Okay.
I only run Shield. I only have that version of the game, so but from my understanding, Shield is a little bit riskier. But I would say time-wise, they're probably about the same.
I see.
Okay. So a good first hit with the Muddy Water. Thinking that Max Ooze just fine.
Nice.
And gets the 2-hit kill. So the risk definitely pays off, and Spider is able to, is on PB pace already, and then does Dynamax skip. So as Spider goes through more cutscenes and menuing, we'll take a look at Pure Joe as they're doing the Hop 2 fight. If you joined us recently, Pure Joe had a little bit of trouble getting around runnable Sobble, had to reset a few times, but now is finally up and going.
And he gets Ember. That's really bad.
Yeah, not ideal.
Okay,
No
getting
burn, at
burned.
least.
That's good.
If you're unfamiliar with some of the more recent Pokemon games, especially for the Switch, a lot of the rivals will have little comments that they'll say when you land a super effective hit, or a critical hit, or they're using a special move. So ideally we want to avoid those as much as possible. Alright, so where everybody's at, Pirsha will be going through some more cutscenes. Etiquette is heading on to Route 1, going to be doing their Route 1 catch very shortly. And Spider is receiving their cute Cubfu, which they will surely not, abandon. Oh, then there it goes. Alright, Etiquette looking for a Wooloo, not seeing any, so gonna have to settle for a Skolvit. Didn't get your level, but that must have been a level 3 because getting 19 EXP is not ideal. Level 5, a little bit better. Ideally we're getting Wooloos on this route because they provide significantly more experience than any other Pokemon on this route. But Squilvet is the next best thing. Just missing out on level 8, but they'll still be able to continue. Meanwhile, Spider is just going through the forest again. They're going to be heading to the Tower of Darkness to begin the final gauntlet of the run. What has happened in the meantime is that they beat Clara 3, they received a legendary Pokemon from Mustard and promptly released that legendary Pokemon. And now when you talk to Mustard without that Cubfu, he says, well, I guess you can do the tower challenge anyway, even though you don't have Cubfu, so just go do it. So we are going to be heading to the Tower of Darkness, as opposed to the Tower of Waters, and taking it on solely with Drizzile. So we choose the Tower of Darkness instead of the Tower of Waters because we are currently working with 3 water moves and Bind. So not the most effective moveset to take on a bunch of water Pokemon. So we go to the Tower of Darkness since we'll have a little bit better time attacking those Pokemon instead of having them resist everything. And if you've done this the challenge with Cubfu before, you'll see that these dojo students, instead of having little words of wisdom every time they see you, they just say ... 3 times, kind of indicating that you've they're not pleased with you for abandoning the Pokemon that they all revere. Alright, Spider's saying they're a minute ahead of PB, which is very nice. And here you'll be seeing the Rocky helmet come into play that Spider picked up earlier. So whenever a Pokemon hits Drizzile with a contact move, which most physical attacks are contact moves, will be taking some damage as a result. Alright, Spider making it up the tower, no problem. Gonna be facing off against this Krokorok, which should be able to one-shot no problem. And protect, which is more just a waste of time. But luckily it gets no protect. And just like that, Spider is on to the final fight of the run.
Do you really want me to say that, Chip?
Something to know for this Kung Fu fight, and a big reason that we pick up the Rocky helmet, is that the Kung Fu has a focus sash, so we cannot one-shot it with any move. If we try to, it will live on 1 HP. So what we do instead is equip the focus sash, equip the Rocky helmet so that when it does hit us, it hopefully takes recoil damage like that, and gets knocked out. And just like that, Spider has completed all the fights. We'll have a few text boxes. And that's time.
GG.
GG Spider, very nice run.
Yeah, 1 encounter and the rest was really good. Yes, that's
So,
second place.
1-11. So definitely going to be tough time to beat. Everything go pretty smoothly overall. I know some runners have been talking about how they're shooting for 110s, but a very nearly 111 flat is a fantastic time.
Alright, let's say the Tower of Two Fists in 1 hour 23 minutes 09 by Spiders. The Wild Kangash can use Focus Energy, 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 the Wild Kangash can use Focus Energy. Alright.
Yeah, so that was the reading of the comments that Spider used on his submission for the Get Urshifu run. In which he had some trouble death warping off of a Kangaskhan. Alright, and this Peerjo prepares to lose to Peony, and pick up his candies. Etiquette will be taking on Hop.
Hi, Spider.
Hello.
Hello, Spider. Congrats!
Thank you. That was kind of a mess. Before the event, I said I was not going to take 3 encounter early games. but I got a max special attack Sobble, so I took a 3 encounter early game, and
Yeah,
that
sorry,
worked
turn
out.
that down. Yeah. Look.
The high special attack was really nice because it meant like the ranges that I would have had on a DMAX skip, I just didn't have any ranges. And then
Ooh.
same thing in Tower. Zorua and Inkay are normally ranges unless you have max special attack, which I did. So that was super nice. I did get absolutely terrified when the Kubfu focus energy turn 1, because that's not supposed to happen.
That was a little scary.
But because the other thing is that normally if it does that, it's not a 2-turn. Because you're not in Torrent for your Muddy Water to kill. But because my special attack was so high, the Muddy Water plus a Rocky Helmet still took it out. So kind of a ridiculous run in a couple spots, saved by the absurd Sobble.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it was absurd in some scary moments, but overall, you played very cleanly. And yeah, this is just a great time to start off the day with.
Yeah, I have not been derusting this category. A bunch of other people have been doing like runs of don't get, and I've just kind of been doing my own thing, and so it's kind of wild to come in with this time at the very start of the event.
So does this mean that you're going to keep doing don't get attempts, or just switch to get?
I might just start forcing get for a little bit at least, just because coming in with this time to start and then being able to just check XL as soon as I can. And normally my plan was to only check XL if this 59% candy wasn't an M, but I mean now I might as well just go for it and do get with possibly 3 M candies on the Sobble, which is very good. So
Yeah,
just have to see how it goes from here.
Yeah, you can kind of keep tabs on how other people's don't get times turn out, but I think that's definitely put up a time that's going to be worthy of competing for the top time.
So I'm going to jump back into it. Hope everyone else's runs go well, and thanks for chatting.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. GG and good luck on the next one.
Good luck, yeah.
Thank you.
That's pretty good first run, like.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I should have mentioned that now that, well, I don't know if Spider would do this, but now that he's had a good Drizzle time, he can switch to Thwacky attempts. Which, I don't know if he's prepared to do that for today, but I do know he has an affinity for using Grookey and doing a hop 2 skip. Alright, so let's check where everyone's at. Peerjo taking on Avery. First time we'll get to see an Avery fight today. Meanwhile, Etiquette is heading back to Wedgehurst and going to be about to jump on the train to head to the Crown Tundra. Well, to the wild area, then back to the Slowpoke, then to the Crown Tundra. It looks like Peerjo did teach Sucker Punch, which is a unique stat for the Shield version. You can use Sucker Punch on namely the Avery 2 Kadabra, which can avoid having to set up Torrent and lets you outspeed the Kadabra and not worry about taking an extra hit of confusion. And if you haven't noticed already, so Clara is a poison type trainer, and Avery is a psychic type trainer. So while they both have a slowpoke, because the Galarian Slowbro is psychic and poison type, the rest of their teams are different.
Oh, I didn't know that.
All right, so while everybody's in doing some cutscene conversations, I'm going to take this 30 seconds to refill my coffee.
Yeah, sure.
And Spider is going for another run. Let's go. And Dynam is going for runs too. Running on shield.
Oh, yeah, Dynam starting up.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm a little surprised that Dynam is starting runs, considering it is 6:22 a.m. where they are.
Oh.
And they were doing attempts like 8 hours ago. But yes, the background on Dino. They might be typically one of the Sword and Shield DLC run that they kind of category monthly. They have been putting up some time. Just Joe getting the fake out from Mustard. Which is ooh, and okay. That was good. One shot, then if you so maybe. And Spider was was in their options, but was not satisfied. So now booting up the game again. Now looks like the next action we're gonna get is Etiquette checking for their candies after this peony fight. Okay. Time to pick up the guaranteed medium. And likely we'll grab the full restore.
And is that candy? S, which is very low. I think.
Small. Yeah, not ideal. Looks like Etiquette is going to keep searching for other candies.
Yeah.
So that candy spot has a chance. It's favored to be a medium. That's the ideal, but it can also be a small or a rare candy. Okay, another small, and it looks like he's going to be going for the mayor candy and possibly a Get Urshifu run. So this mayor candy is very. It has a wide range of outcomes from extra small to extra large. And another small. So this is more recent strats that Etiquette is going to be opening up Pokemon Camp while the date rolls over. Try to get the candy to respawn. Unsuccessful, so just going to reset and try again.
Yeah.
But the logic behind that is that the candy should, I'm not sure if it's guaranteed, but it's at least likely to respawn every day once you hit midnight. So when you set your time before the start of the run, you're hoping to get there before it hits 12 o'clock and pick up the candy. Then if it's not the candy that you want, you can wait a minute, go back and get a second chance. Oh, Etiquette saying he was 2 seconds too late for the rollover. So, unfortunate, but, still early in the day. It's just the first run. Ooh, and it looks like we have another runner joining us, that Greta is getting their setup started. Oh, Joe unfortunately was waiting for that slowpoke and went right by them, which, it happens to all of us. Looks like Pure Joe trying to get this Corphish to Death Warp off of, but they're usually not as aggressive. So he's going to be looking for this Bouffalon to hopefully get him back to the dojo. Unfortunately, this Bouffalon is level 10, so not going to be getting too much damage out of that. This can be a common pain point that because you come to this area early, there's not many high-level things available to Death Warp off of. That Arrow Kuda is one of the few high-level things.
Wait, 27.
And this Licky Licky, yeah, definitely higher
Wrap.
level, but I believe it's its only attacks are Wrap and Rollout.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Very slow. Okay.
Yeah. So, here Joe, I'm going to be picking their starter. Spider, in a minute or two, is going to be in a Sobble set look. And our other three runners are in various parts of the opening cutscene. Looks like Dynam's had a special attack of 10 to 11, so
Worst possible.
probably near minimum special attack.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, like I kind of alluded to, Spider has made the pivot to Grookey. Love to see it. So Grookey has some definitely has some unique qualities that separate it from the Sobble runs. One is that it gets access to Taunt, which means that you can do a special technique on Hop 2 where you intentionally lose the fight. Now, you miss out on the EXP because of that, but it is much faster. It can save you up to a minute by intentionally losing the fight. And then you can save even more time if you go for the underleveled Slowpoke catch, which is very low odds, but can have a big payoff if you get it quickly. I'm a big fan of doing the Grookey route, but I also play on Shield, which is a little bit different than playing on Sword. So, be excited to see how that plays out for Spider. Oh, and another runner, Truly, is getting their setup started. So we'll be seeing them get
Nice.
going in just a few minutes. And looks like Pure doing a safety save before this fight. Especially on Shield, this can be a very risky battle. Probably even more so a good idea because I think their special attack is not... It's runnable, but not great. So it's very possible that they miss a range or, you know, something else unfortunate could happen. So here you'll see Sucker Punch, which one-hit KO on Kadabra, and you don't just getting hit, but it comes at the expense of proccing a little extra text from Avery because he used a super effective hit. And Pure Joe able to get through the fight, no problem. Let's see how this Death Warp goes, and then maybe afterwards we can look at some Sobble stats. Alright, so Piujo on the way back to the dojo. It looks like Greta is going to get a peek at their Sobble stats first.
Got a crit, which is really bad. $17 and 14. Yeah, that's good, I think.
That's good enough. And then Etiquette right behind her. Didn't quite catch it, but it seemed like it was good enough. I didn't see a 12, so that was... and they haven't reset, so I'm going to take it that their Sobble was good enough.
Let's see level 7. What is Dynamo cooking?
Yeah, looks like when they did the options, they forgot to turn off nicknames.
1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1.
Oh, okay. I see what Spider's doing now. They're doing their famed Wooloo alt main.
Aw.
So this is I think something only Spider has run and developed themselves, but doing using Wooloo as the main for this Don't Get Urshifu run, which is a risky move because you need enough candies to get you to evolve into double. But it is quite interesting, and we'll. I'm very intrigued to see how it plays out. Oh, okay. So looks like he got a Wooloo that did not have Fluffy, which needs to progress. So looks to be going. Unless.
Alright, Dynamax trap. Pure. Alright.
So this Swoobat has Unaware, which means it ignores our +2. So, and it's pretty bulky. So we're using the Rain and the Max Geyser and the Torrent all to make sure that we hit the range. And then same for the Slowbro, we're trying to ideally hit it in one shots and avoid getting quick draw. Okay, good. So both Avery and Clara Slowbros have quick draw, which is a unique ability that basically acts as a quick claw, meaning that it has I believe a 30% chance to just go first, even though regardless of its speed stat. So if you do get quick draw, it can make things a little bit risky because it can KO you before you can KO it. But luckily, neither of our runners today that have gotten to this point have gotten the quick draw.
Back on trading. Well,
Yeah,
that's. Oh, that's maximum special attack? Yes, I think.
14 to 16? Very nice.
Yeah.
It's like everyone else at various points of Route 1 and Route 2. Spider is still sticking with the Grookey. Yeah, so as we'll see, Spider making it through this fight okay, which is not always guaranteed because that Blip Bug with Struggle Bug can hit pretty hard with the super effective attack. But I get through just fine, and soon we'll get to see how Grookey handles Hop 2. And surely getting the on-nerve skip, everything going right for them right now. Surely asking if they can pivot to Sobble any percent, since it can be tough to get a good... If you think these resets are bad, you know, if for any percent they can be even worse. I often feel that way with like any percent with DLC, and you get a really good Sobble, and you're like wondering if you should change category. Okay, so I'm interested to see what Spider's cooking. It looks like they're not going to intentionally lose the fight. They're going to progress as normal and try to reach the level 12. Yeah, just worth keeping an eye on to see what they're up to. Meanwhile, Pure Joe making their way to the Tower of Darkness. They'll be there in about a minute. Alright, so making their way up the stairs. And again, we're probably going to see all of our runners, unless they're doing, you know, something without Drizzile or Kubfu. Pretty much everyone is going to be going to the Tower of Darkness. The Tower of Waters actually is closer and is a shorter walk, I believe by about 45 seconds. But you lose that time between having to teach extra moves to handle the water types in there if you're using Kubfu, or just the extra turns it takes to defeat those Pokemon. So most runners will opt to just do the Tower of Darkness and opt for the easier fights rather than a shorter walk.
We now have Iron.
Another runner getting started. Another shield runner. All three of them will now be in action. Ooh. That's unlucky. Looks like... Oh, did they save?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, looks like Peerjo gonna go back into it. The Scraggy payback. And it's gonna heal this. Looks like Peerjo just trying to get a run on the board.
Yeah.
Which totally understand. He'll be able to take care of the Scraggy this time. That payback can hit pretty hard since we're going first, which means the payback is going to be 100 power and stab. This Inkay can be a little scary too, depending on the situation, because its moves are Slash and Night Slash, which are both high crit moves. Luckily the Rocky Helmet takes it out, and Peerjo has Torrent for Crocorox. Any doubt of a range, it should be just fine now.
Protects.
Yeah.
Time loss.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, both the last trainers before Mustard, in this tower and the other tower, both have... This Crocorock has Sand Tomb and Protect, and the Poliwhirl in the other tower has Whirlpool and Protect.
Last fight for Peerjo.
No save this time, so just gonna go into it. To set up to +1. Not only for the extra power. Oh,
Alright.
dang, that's unfortunate.
That's... Oh. Really wants to finish.
Unfortunately, didn't save right before Mustard, so gonna have to do an extra fight again. Oh, okay. Now I see what Spider's cooking. They are doing Ninetales all main now.
Oh my god.
So, having some fun after putting up a solid time in their first attempt. Okay, Joe gonna give Mustard another attempt, and heal a little bit higher this time just in case. Oh yeah, I was. Oh. Okay, yeah, he's just. Hate when that happens. I dropped input, accidentally selected Pokeball.
Oh. Yeah, I will need to leave 2 minutes before. So yeah, I will be back tomorrow for Pokemon.
All right. Well,
See
thank you for joining. All right. So let's see. Ooh, okay. Survives this time. Hits the muddy water and finally done with the fights. So Pure Joe able to finish the run, you know, get the rust off a little bit, and be able to get ready for their next run. So it looks like going to be about a 118 flat. Maybe 118.02. Yeah, so showing off their stats, lonely. That minus defense probably hurt them a few times in the Tower of Darkness, but GG. And yeah, let's take a look. Check in where everyone else is at. So it looks like Spider is getting their Garuka to level. The Slowpoke cat. Iron on hop 1.
So, what did I miss? I think I just saw a Vulpix on Spider's screen, which is interesting. Yes, I am back from my little break after the pre-show. Happy to see some more runners have joined the races today. The majority of them running now, just waiting for Head Bovember and Zypodic. Excited to see some Sword and Shield action here. Spider getting number 2 on the leaderboard. Yeah, I did see that. Amazing. For the first run of the event too. That's a great first run to finish. See, I did say earlier that it may be an advantage to start early, but maybe Peugeot was put under pressure a little bit with that 118. Hoping they can get a good run in after this. Because I did see them reset on the final fight there, so I wish them the best so they can kind of recover mentally, because I would definitely be tilted after that. And hey, it's a run on the board, as we can see on the lower third here. Spider now in first with 111.08, Peugeot with the only other finished run 118.02 for Don't Get. And then Spider's also the furthest along right now in terms of time with his second attempt. Etiquette doing the Slowpoke fight right now. Ah, gets a breakout, that's annoying. Also, Sobble was put to sleep, I don't know how common that is. Okay, stays in now. Greta's also doing the Slowpoke. A couple of seconds behind Edda here. And... okay, it stays in for Greta as well. Three people just playing through the intro here, Dynam Iron and Peugeot. Going through the motions. Talking to Mom, talking to Hop. Apparently this Ninetales is bad, according to Spider. I have no reference for what a good Ninetales would be in this run. But I can just assume it has bad special attack or something. 6 breakouts for Etiquette, oh. So it looks like Amber will be joining the races right now. Stream was added to the overlay. They're just awaiting the go here. So Iron is getting his Sober right now. It seems like Pidgey is gonna get theirs, or already has theirs, yeah. Going into the rival fight right now. But Dynam is getting theirs as well. Because these three runners are so close in terms of progress. I'm gonna get to check all of those Sobbles back to back to back here with like a minute apart. Sadly, it's a little small on my end. Because I can't actually make it be full screen, and I just missed it, but Perjo is resetting, so I assume that was not good. Now Iron should be going into the rival fight here. Meanwhile, Greta is making their way over to the Isle of Armor. And we can try and focus on Iron's screen here, really squint. Because this is shield, so they're... Okay, yeah, that was a little low on the special attack side. They're 13 at 6. So Iron also resets here, tries again. Let's see if Dynam can clear it and keep going. Also
13 to 6,
12
yeah.
to 13. So none of the three got a good enough Sobble. So I guess now we have a 4-pack here, because Amber is right in that area as well. Now at 1 minute 40, then Perjo, then Iron, and Dynam following close behind in one group of 4.
So we've got Etiquette getting ready to take on Mustard. Truly about to check their candy luck. Spider also going to take on Mustard, but I don't know how that goes with Ninetales, so.
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting route, I imagine.
I've tried doing the Arcanine route a few times, but can never get a run to finish.
So is that a get or don't get route with the Ninetales?
Don't get.
Okay. Actually going for the candies here. I think that was an M.
It was much easier early this morning when there was like 2 or 3 people going on at once.
Yeah,
now
It's
with
so
9.
much visual information.
Yeah.
And it's our job to cut through that, so.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like Truly gonna go check the mayor candy.
So from what I overheard earlier, this would indicate doing a Get Urshifu run. XS, that's rough.
Not what you want to see, yeah. Yeah, so generally if you're going for that candy, you're going to be doing a Get Urshifu run. But you're looking for at least an L candy, if not an XL. XL is ideal. There is these backup candies right here, which is at least 1 guaranteed M, and actually the thing next to it is possible to be an M as well, but Truly didn't opt to go for that chance. So gonna be just Death Warping back and sticking with the M candies.
Meanwhile, Spider just finished up Mustard with the Ninetales. I mean, I'm interested if there's like time save later on, because he already seems to be lagging behind like 4-ish minutes behind Etiquette's pace with the solo out. So
yeah, it's definitely going to be a little behind, especially since it takes time to go get the Firestone, which you had to do in the wild area. But
yeah, I mean, I would assume that it's not the ideal route to go for 9 days, right? But still interested to see what Spider makes of it.
Yeah, and I'll be curious to see if this sets the tone for other people attempting some alt mains over the course of the weekend.
I mean, when you're already getting a huge PP with your first run, I feel like you have a little bit of room to try something.
Yeah, just keep the momentum going, see if you can PB in other categories too.
Sure. And I can definitely understand why Spider wouldn't immediately want to go to Get and do that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, when we were chatting with them a little bit after their first run, they were considering it, but, you know, committing to the Eds means a little bit more difficulty getting on a run, since you're really depending on, ideally the XL candy if you're chasing a top time, so
Yeah.
it can be a bit unforgiving with the resets.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
We're back at Barrier Blitz,
Go ahead.
still going. Yeah, we experienced some technical difficulties, but we're back and running it. People are still going. No one stopped. Everyone's local recording, I hope. All I could see was from Amber's stream that they got a runnable subble, so that's good. They're still going. Everyone else from their little cohort had to reset, so Persia, Iron, and Dynam remain in this little group of 3 of people trying to get a run going.
Like Greta just got a successful Death Warp.
Very nice.
Etiquette getting ready to walk over to Lara 2. Same for Truly.
Yeah, Spider and Etiquette's in the same cutscenes, basically. Just with different mains.
Spider gonna pick up this mint.
That should help with the Ninetales. Apparently pretty bad stats. At least a little bit.
I'm curious to see how this next fight goes for Spider. You know, with the Slowpokes, you can get a boost from the weather, you know, have the sunset to get a little more damage output, but I wonder how much he's going to have to, like, set up nasty plots for this.
I mean, apparently it's quite a gamble, because you wrote in chat earlier while the stream was down that he accidentally used one nasty plot too many and ended up getting put to sleep in that turn. So, you know, you gotta be careful. With Etiquette and Spider collecting the max mushrooms, now gonna go into the Clara fight.
And Greta gonna be making their way there next. Okay, only had to set up one nasty plot.
That seems reasonable. I mean, Nasty Plot is a very powerful move, so I'm not surprised. Yeah, that's very interesting to see, because sure, Spider one-shot the Venipede or whatever, but it was still basically the same. It still took basically the same amount of time as Etiquette's two-shot because of the extra super effective text
Right.
from Clara, which is just sad. This should be a good thing. No, it just saves barely any time because of those extra flavor texts. Well.
Alright, so this...
like... Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say this Oracle Death Warp, you'd think, oh, would be great. You know, it's a groupie, it should KO it instantly. I don't think this Torkoal has a... I'm not sure if it has a fire move.
Oh no, it's not doing anything. Okay, rapid spin, wow. That's not enough. That was a crit.
That was a crit.
Oh wow, okay. So
Yeah, I think its only attacks might be like rapid spin and and smog or something like that.
that's rough.
Yeah, but makes it through.
Regreta's doing the clarified now as well.
And looks like Truly is setting up the Death Warp back to the dojo on Cramorant. Alright.
We're just gonna. I was about to see their subtle stats on the rubber fight. It's like their third attempt in a row of getting a runnable subtle. Oh, this one looked good. 15 at 6. For sure.
Nice. Yes, definitely better.
So finally they get to continue their run.
Yeah, Pure Joe definitely having the roughest luck today when it comes to Sobbles.
I hope they get some good luck kind of as a compensation in terms of candy and other things.
Although if they want, I can send them my Yamper notes. Every Yamper is runnable.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Spider's interested.
Yeah, they might be circling through different alt mains today, but I don't know. I think I intrigued Amber a little bit with it, that they might consider doing some Yamper into Bolton runs.
I mean, I'd definitely be interested to see some different strats here today. Not just the classic, world record strats. That's boring.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been more interested in the alt mains for this, and I think of my 3 top times, none of them are with Drizzile. Alright, so zooming in on Etiquette, getting ready for the Clara 3 fight.
Same goes for Spider, of course.
Now, Spider's time earlier, they went for the Dynamax skip. We'll see if Etiquette opts to do the same.
Denim 16 special attack sub here. Iron 15. So both runnable.
Nice, nice.
Finally, we get some runs going here. Everyone's past the starter resets. At least get to play until the candies.
Etiquette unfortunately getting poisoned on the last turn of setup, which not ideal for the loss of status time and poison damage, but let's see.
Is there any danger of dying from that extra poison damage, or is it just because of the ticks that it's slow?
I imagine if you get quick drawed by Slowbro, it might put you in a little bit more dangerous
Right.
situation, but I think with Dynamaxing too, you should probably be just fine. Meanwhile, it sounds like Dynam also has a max special attack Sabo, which
That's a lot of
have been-
Sabbles.
yeah, have been surprisingly frequent today.
Okay, Greta is saying that they're about to do something funny. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm interested to see.
I'm intrigued.
Also going into the clarified here.
Etiquette gonna get quick drawed, which should survive, but it's gonna be a little bit of time loss. Oh, and Spider also getting quick drawed.
Okay, so let's see what Greta's cooking. Maybe she's also going for the Dynamax skip.
It's like Etiquette made it through the fight just fine. Spider got a little unlucky that the Slowbro went for Max Geyser, which
Yeah,
nullifies the sun that he'd set up before.
that's unfortunate. Greta also gets poisoned again.
Yep. Greta's skipping the D-Max.
Gets the crit. A bit of time loss.
Ooh, Muddy Water Miss, not great.
Ooh, now we're getting into... Okay, there we
Yeah.
go. Goes
That's
for...
where,
Yeah.
that's where the poison comes into play. Ooh. 1 HP.
Really had to do that then.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, that's really unfortunate.
Oh. Not much you can do about that.
That's annoying for Greta. Well, back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Let's see where everyone else is at. So, Spider's getting their Cubfu. Dynam and Iron on Route 1. Amber backtracking to Route 2. Hero in the Pokemon Center. Etiquette about to make their walk over to the Tower of Darkness.
Bye bye, Kapu.
Bye bye.
It truly now also going into this clarified, and hopefully because those were 3 quick draws in a row, surely truly won't get quick draw.
Surely, yeah.
Surely. I mean, what are the odds? 4 times in a row, that would be quite excessive.
Oh yeah, truly reminding us in the chat that they did only got medium candies, and so they're going to be doing this a little under leveled, or they're going to be trying for Get Urshifu with a little less candy than usual.
That's the boss strategy.
Mm-hmm.
The cat just arriving at the tower.
Does manage to avoid the poison on Skorupi, which is nice. Oh, but does not get the one hit. So truly gonna play it safe here. And Dynamax. Spider entering the tower. Etiquette on the second floor, I believe, of their tower.
Yeah. And I feel like I don't know this run well enough to make a, informed call here, but I don't think skipping Dynamax is even an option at level 21 for Truly.
Yeah, probably not.
But yeah, with that Dynamax, Truly seems to be getting through well enough, even at this lower level. Now, will we see another quick draw? No.
All right.
Finally. Still have to sit through the Dynamax animation though.
Meanwhile, Etiquette is getting a lot of crits in the tower, but I don't know if they're useful crits or just time loss crits.
I feel like odds are time loss. This is the last regular fight here for Etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
Or doing the big boss battle to finish off the run. Not gonna beat Spider's time here, but still good pace for a first run of the day.
So Truly is contemplating their options as they need to make up the EXP for Cub Fu. And meanwhile, Etiquette's heading into the final fight.
Oh.
And Headbob getting started too.
Very nice. Just one last break screen. With Psypotic. I believe scheduled to join for 11 a.m., so in about 20 minutes or so.
And Etiquette manages to survive the fight. And going to be putting up a mid 112.
Very nice. $112.33 for Etiquette, entering the leaderboard here in second place.
And he's going to show us his Drizzile, a plus special attack minus special defense. And we'll see if he wants to join into...
This is a huge PB for Etiquette. I'm just looking at the leaderboard. His verified PB is 114.39, so this is a huge PB.
Nice.
Congrats, Etiquette.
And Spider finishing up with the mid 118 on their Ninetales run.
Very nice. GG Ninetales indeed.
And now we got Etiquette who is hopping in the call with us. So GG Etiquette.
GG. Apparently that's a PB.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, congrats, yeah.
Thank you. It was a interesting run. Definitely looking to improve this before the end of the event, but it's nice to get a time on the board for sure.
Definitely. And 112, solid time to start off with. And
yeah, I mean, yes. The good thing is, like I hit all the muddy waters. The Sobble was not good. This was a 13 to 14 to 15. But there was a chance that it was plus special attack, which it turns out it was. So I ended up rolling with it. But it was Squovit Route 2, which I got ambushed. It was not a choice. And then I didn't count exactly how many, but it was like 5 or 6 breakouts on the Slowpoke. Yeah. And then random Lillipup encounter. I just straight up did not see it.
So lots of opportunities for time save for the next run.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, I got pretty lucky with the amount of HP I needed left. I completely forgot what the strategy was for Mustard until I got there in the notes, and I was like, oh, I need to do math real quick. But it ended up working out, so yeah. Nice.
So you're going to keep doing don't get attempts, or what's kind of your plan for the next little bit?
Yeah, so my strategy right now, until I have a solid time, a good, something I would consider good in either category, is to sort of plan for both. And when I get to Crown Tundra, if I get double M's on the first 2 candies, I just do don't get. And if I don't have double M's, I do the whole down to Freezington and figure out from there. I probably won't. If I don't have double M's, I probably will always do get. It's just a matter of if I don't get a large or an extra large, then I'll just reset at that point.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna try to figure out all the stuff like Truly is. Truly's a champion for this.
Yeah, they're really throwing it together to pull out this double M Kubfu run.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it turns out, though.
Definitely. Well, GG again, and good luck on
Thank you.
your next run, and yeah,
All right.
thanks for chopping in.
See you all later. Thank you all. Thank you for commentating.
Of course.
Bye.
Goodbye. So, yeah, Trudy's been chopping down some chances here.
Yes, this was the original strat for this route. Was before we discovered that you could pick up some guaranteed candies in the tundra, that we'd fight chances in the Isle of Armor to grind EXP for Kubfu. So, throwing it back to some old strategies.
Yeah, Greta has to reset did not get the runnable sober right there. Meanwhile, Persia is just finishing up the intro here.
And looks like Iron heading back to Route 2, while Amber is getting ready to fight Mustard 1. So something to know about Truly, since I believe this is our first Get Urshifu run of the day, that if you, on most runs, you're going to have to visit at least 3, or visit exactly 3 of the vistas or, inspiration spots where you look out and have a cutscene with Kubfu and you all kind of stand amazed at the wonderful sights. If you get an XL candy, it actually gives you enough friendship points that you only have to do 2 of the vistas, which is another big time save point of getting the XL versus any other candy combination.
That's... Oh man. That puts so much pressure on getting that XL candy if you really want to get a top time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was grinding this for about a month before I got an XL candy, and when I finally got it, I was like, I'm not blowing this, I'm going to play extra safe, and yeah, still, even with safety strats, significantly improved my time over the just L candy.
That's... I don't like that. I don't like it when the speedrunner is like contingent on one RNG thing to happen.
Yeah. It's not ideal, although people have been experimenting more to give you a little bit better odds by setting the date to roll over right after you pick up the mayor candy, so you can have a second chance of picking it up.
That feels familiar.
Yeah. So if you don't get the XL candy the first time, that 5% chance, you can have another shot at it, or possibly get something like 2 L candies, and yeah, just give you a little bit better runability odds.
I mean, sounds like a smart thing to do if you can make it there at exactly the right time.
Yeah, it's definitely tricky. Etiquette tried to roll over the candy time earlier in his previous run, but I think he said he was 2 seconds late. So let's take a look at Head Bob's first Sobble of the day. To 11. I'd say that's great. Probably not going to run that.
Going for the reset here.
Yeah. Probably minimum special attack. Really looking around for something to death warp on.
That is taking its sweet time to get over there.
Yeah,
there
that's
we go.
the not ideal thing about the flying encounters is that they like to take their time getting over to you. Oh, and I don't know if he accounted for this. Typically, you don't want to death warp on Kubfu
Oh, because of the friendship.
because of the friendship.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's still enough friendship from the Vistas that everything's okay. But I don't know exactly sure.
Well, oh.
Okay, so wasn't a problem. Had enough friendship points that he could afford the death warp.
Okay, so what else is going on right now? We have Perjo about to go candy collecting. Iron just caught the Slowpoke.
Amber about to get into their Slowpokes.
Let's see what Perjo's getting here. What's that? Rare candy?
Rare candy, which I believe is the same thing they got the first time. You know, you can do the Drizzle don't get with the rare candy, but it's not hot. You really like to have the two mediums.
Let's see what they decide to do here. S, okay. And a heal ball. Not going so good for Perjo.
Yeah, they're looking for the Dynite ore, which is a small chance to appear. And if you get the Dynite ore, you can exchange it for an EXP Candy L. But now they're just going to go check out the Mayor Candy.
Yeah.
And yes, so unlucky, didn't get the candy they were looking for, so gonna reset and
Yeah.
put another shot.
Yeah, I think they said earlier that they were going to take a break after the next reset, so probably gonna step out for a bit here. Meanwhile, Trudy is approaching the tower on his Get Urshifu run. And Iron and Dynam both are doing the Q-Fan fights, or evolution of that.
Perfectly in sync with their fainting.
Let's see if they are also perfectly in sync with their candy getting.
Meanwhile,
Spider. Yeah.
Spider, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Spider and Greta doing their Sobble checks.
An M candy for both here. On Dynam and Iron's 3. Oh,
Ooh.
Animate's an encounter. Iron gets another M, okay.
Alright, so probably gonna, yeah, hit right back.
Gonna continue with the don't get.
Spider with a 14 to 15, nice.
We'll be happy with that. Now Greta on the hop fight as well.
So it looks like Dynam did die to that pile of swine, but you know, it doesn't lose too much time since you just death warp back to the train station, so it's going to keep on progressing. Alright, Greta stat time. 12 to 14.
14.
Kind of fringe.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's... should be okay. Might have some not as great ranges, but we'll see how the candy situation turns out.
Speaking of candy situation, what's Dynam getting here? Access. Okay, well, that's a reset right there.
Yeah. Okay, so truly on the, I believe, second to last fight of the tower. It's up well to survive the sand tomb. Yeah.
So about to go into the mustard fight. Meanwhile, the kid on hop 1. See if he gets a runnable subble here.
Of the 13, yeah, looks
Not
like he's
really.
not gonna take that. Yeah.
Alright. Final fight for Julie now. So this is not necessarily the most competitive pace when looking at the top 10 on the leaderboard, but truly Get Urshifu PB is similarly to Etiquette's quite old, 2 years old, a 1:28.11, so truly is very much on a good pace to improve his PB with this run, even with the lives at 1
Critical
HP.
hit.
Wait, I think that's never mind. That's what you want to happen, right?
Oh, he toughed it
never
out.
mind. Power friendship.
And that's
Interesting.
actually ideal. I mean, because you don't have to endure the next turn. You just got the 1 HP. I don't think I've seen a Kapu tough it out before, so yeah. GG truly.
I mean, yeah, that's huge. So it's gonna be 125.